What's up YouTube, it's your boy Zeoxys, and in today's video we're going to be talking about should global players summon for Fest King or the one Escanor. Now, before we start, I want to apologize to you global players out there. I know I have not been putting out a lot of global content, but I am going to start up a JP again, which I already have done. I'm not quitting global, don't worry, I still main global 1000%, but I realize from the streams I do, shout out to all you guys who show up, but from the streams I do, majority, or not majority, but a lot of the people who are sub to the channel only play JP, so it's kind of weird when they look at global content. So I'm going to try to put up both global and JP content for you guys. Right now global is kind of dead-ish, not really, but JP is just more hype, so there's more stuff to cover on JP right now. I will have global stuff out though throughout the week and stuff like that. Like, don't worry, global players. Now, should you be summoning for the one Escanor or Fest King? Now, where is Fest King? I have him as well here. Fest King. This is Fest King. He's the one with the stand. They're pretty both good. So we're gonna go over what they do, and then we're gonna look at gameplay, and I'll tell you guys my thoughts. So if we go over here, Escanor inflicts influx damage to 200%. Attack on a single enemy, 300%, 500%. Now, influx is an additional 0.8% damage per 1% remaining HP, which means when you start into the battle, no matter how much HP you have, you always start at 100%. So basically, it's basically extra damage depending on the percentage of HP you have left. That's like the easiest way to put it. So you're getting an extra 0.8 per 1%. So if you have 93% remaining, you're getting 0.8 additional damage from that 93% of the HP you have remaining. That's the easiest way to put it. The second skill is like Derrieres. It's a single target attack enemy, a single target attack card, 240, 360, and 600. So he just has two broken cards, right? 600 is the highest multiplier, and I'd say 500 is the second highest multiplier. So he has the insane cards. And his ultimate inflicts damage to 720% of an attack on one enemy, then inflicts additional death damage. Right now, death is inflicts 20% of the final damage as additional damage. So that's at 1 out of 6. At 6 out of 6, it's 100%. So 6 out of 6 means basically you're going to do your first attack for 1,800, and you're guaranteed, you're most likely going to kill somebody. So whoever you kill, it's going to basically do it again. So it's like 2 ults in 1. It's basically going to do this again if you have it 1 out of 6 or 6 out of 6. Like, these are the multipliers. It's just going to do it again. And I'll show you guys gameplay. So if we actually pull it up here, we can actually see gameplay on Escanor right now. So here you guys go. We're going to load and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So he also, I didn't cover his passive. So let me go ahead and do that. His passive, the hero gains a buff which increases all stats by 6% at the start of an allied turn. When there are 3 of these stacks effects which go over turn, removes debuffs and becomes immune to debuffs for 1 turn. After that, removes a stack until one stack is left, and then stacks the buffs accordingly again. So it goes up, down basically. He starts off with 1 stack, goes to 3. After 3, he goes down to 1, and then after 1, he goes back to 3, and it goes on and goes on. So there's that. Right now, in my opinion, Escanor is the best unit in the game. Like, there's no other better unit, right? So let's look at my Escanor. If we can look at his stats, he has 1 turn, right? He has 1 turn. Oh, actually, I guess I can't look at him here. Okay, so let's look at his level 3. Let's see how much he's gonna do level 3. He's gonna do 142,000. Now, there's one thing that they don't tell you, which is something not a lot of people are gonna know. But when Escanor crits, his numbers are disgusting. So as you guys see, he needed 142k there. He can do that on a level 1 if he crits. And I can actually show you guys. He's not going to do it here, but yeah, practically the same thing as a level 3 when he crits. His crits are insanely strong. He has a lot of crit damage. So let's see how much it's going to do. Okay, this is the level, the second skill. It's a 2-hitting skill, which is actually pretty good. But look at this if it crits. Let's try to get this until it crits. 300k when it crits. That's the same thing as like a 6 out of 6 red Escanor, most likely. So this is his level 3 skill. They both hit very hard. He's a disgusting unit. Okay, So he hits like these level 3s, even at level 1. If you build him up, my Escanor only has 12k attack. I see people who have Escanor with 18k attack, which I'm trying to get up there too. So this is nothing really. But then his ult, I can actually play the ultimate for you guys as well. So here's his ult, right? Yeah, it looks pretty good. I find this to be the best animation, or the best ultimate animation in the game. Obviously, boom. As you guys see, he just hit 380, and then when he comes back up, boom, 654. That's the death applied. Now, my Escanor is 5 out of 6. I'm 3 multis away from him being 6 out of 6, so you guys will see a showcase on him whenever I unlock geared. I'm farming PvP currently. But yeah, you guys see how that worked? Let's turn it off and we can do it again. Right, we're going to ult here. He's going to do damage. So he did 440k, and then look, he's going to get hit again. So basically, if I did that in PvP and hit the same amount, the enemy would die, and that would work on another enemy, which is actually very, very, very good. So now we're going to go on to King. So let's pull him up. So King is actually very good as well, but he kind of fell off meta. I don't know why, but he kind of did. But if we look at King, inflicts damage equal to 180% of an attack on one enemy, release 80% of dot damage, which means damage over time damage, and releases deals a percentage of leftover damage over time debuff damage as an additional damage. So basically on a rank 1, it's 80% of bleed. So if let's say there was a bleed thing, right? Basically he would add an extra 80% of 90% to that. So out of rank 2 and rank 3, it's much more easier. Like at rank 2, basically, if there's a bleed debuff, he's going to gain 90% added onto the skill. And then 450 and 130, he gets an additional 30%, which is actually very good. Then his second skill is a poison skill. AoE poison, 82%, 123%, 205%. Not anything too crazy, but it does proc his passive, which we're going to go over it later on. And now, when it comes to their ultimate, him and Escanor are kind of similar for their ult, right? Inflicts damage to 300% of an attack on all enemies and applies Abyss effect on the hero and receives 50% less damage for 2 turns. So he gets his damage reduced by 50%. No, not his damage, but the damage enemies do to him will get cut down to 50%. Or cut down by 50%, and Abyss inflicts 30% of the damage dealt on all enemies at the start of the enemy's turn, basically. So basically, I don't know why he says it like that, but basically at the end of your turn, it procs. So at 6 out of 6 again, it's like gonna guarantee a one shot in ungeared. I find this to be the best ultimate in the game for ungeared at 6 out of 6, because you can ult, you're not gonna kill, but you're gonna kill basically. Like if this could kind of cuck revive, but not so much, right? Not like Escanor's thing. Then his passive nullifies the cleansing effect on recovery skills on enemies with 2 or more poison, bleed, shock, or corrosion effects, and if there are 3 or more of those effects or of those debuffs, further decreases an enemy's ultimate move gauge by 1 orb at the end of your turn. So basically, if there's 3 of these effects, it doesn't matter which one it is, but if there's 3 of these, they cannot get their ultimate, unless they're Escanor and they get the debuff immunity. Right, so if we actually pull him up, let me actually pull him up in the game. Now, my King, mind you, is only 1 out of 6. So, or not 1 out of 6, he's only level 1. I didn't upgrade him yet, so he is going to not do too much damage, but I'm just going to show you guys how it works. So, we're going to put it, oh, actually, I need to reset that. So, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. We're going to reset that. We're going to attack with the single target. That did 2,000 attack, right? We're going to do level 3. And as you guys see, he hit for 6k there when he crits. Now we're going to put the poison effect, right? And with the release, what's going to happen is he's going to get poison is 60%. So plus the extra 30% from this, he's going to get, look at the damage. Oh, I pressed the wrong one. But he's going to get a huge buff in damage when he uses this release skill. So instead of 6k, it's going to be 10k. He didn't crit there, so let's see if we can keep doing it until he crits. Or does he have the debuff on him still? He's not critting at all. So I want to see if I can keep getting it until he crits. But if not, then it is what it is. There, he crit 12k. So it's basically double the damage. And then his ultimate, let's show this as well. His ultimate, right, it's like this, pretty dope. I'm gonna get him 86 stars. I'm not sure if I'm gonna super awaken him because I'm never gonna use King like that, but I am gonna, you know, maybe I want to try a full festival team when I get Liz. I won't get Liz actually because I have to choose Escanor, but yeah. And then if we look here, it basically it's supposed to do additional damage, but I don't know if it's going to show in this. So let's see. At the end of my turn, no, it doesn't. So there is that. Now let's quickly go over their banners, which I actually have here. So this is Escanor's banner. Or no, this is King's banner right here. So on King's banner there was Winged King, Goddess Ellie, LV, Melee, and Hendrickson. And Hendrickson and King had raid up. But then there was Coin Shop Sins. So all the Coin Shop Sins were on this banner, and then other units like Demon Meliodas, Bellion, and Zartros, and then and Red King, and then basically Gila, Jericho, Gil Thunderhauser, Grimoire, Solator, and Hendrickson, Blue Hendrickson from Part 1 ticket. So this banner was okay, but it was not the best, in my opinion. Like, the coin shops were probably the best thing you were getting out of here, besides the Fest characters, and Grey Demon Hendrickson. But on Escanor's banner, you had Escanor, the new Green Arthur, fantastic PvE unit, because of his passive, which I will have a showcase on in a bit. Or not in a bit, but you guys will see it, right? And then we also have LV, Liz, Winged King, who is also on his banner. None of them have raid up, which is sad, but it's fine. Then you have Red Demon Meliodas, Green Merlin, Red Escanor. Then you have Green Estarossa, Blue Draw, and Red Zeldris. And then you got Red Roxy, Red Mono, Camilla, Green Shin, and then again Green Demon Hendrickson. So the banner was actually a very good banner. I find this banner to be a bit better than this banner, only because there's less units and it's just more use out of this. Like this has more of the Sins coin shop units, but I'm not using nobody else besides Escanor really if I pull him. So there is that. So if I have to say which one to save and summon for, I'd probably say Skip King, because again, he's not going to be meta for as long as people think he's going to be. He's only going to be meta for like maybe 1 or 2 weeks, or 1 week to maybe a month, I should say, because he's died out very fast on global. I mean, people still use him, but he's not as meta as he used to be, of course, because he's really reliant on Grey Demon Hendrickson, since Grey Demon Hendrickson gives the bleed and shock debuffs that he needs to proc his passive, right? But Escanor is fantastic. You can actually go into PvP alone and probably win with him. I don't recommend it because there's no point of that, but he's very busted. His numbers are insanely high. You won't regret skipping King's banner for him, where you can actually pull King and Hendrickson, the only characters you really need, off this banner. I pulled King and I pulled 5 Hendricksons off this banner. My King is 3 out of 6 and my Hendrickson is 5 out of 6 off this banner. So you don't need to summon for King, but if you want to, that's up to you, but there should be no complaining when Escanor drops on global. Anyways, that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Later. Peace.